I'm starting a live stream. Okay, custom live stream. Go ahead.
Uhuru, Uhuru. Fist up. Fist up. Israel too. Uhuru, Uhuru. My name is Westbrook, and I want to greet you with Uhuru because we know Uhuru means freedom. And to this one, it should stay on our minds, stay on our lips. But once again, I am Westbrook, the president of the local branch of EPDM, the International People Democratic Uhuru Movement. And we want to welcome you to this beautiful place that Black has built that is called Aquava, because we know Aquava means welcome. We know Aquava means welcomes. Uhuru, Uhuru. Led by the African People's Socialist Party, the International People Democratic Uhuru Movement is a mass organization founded in 1991 and is the leading organization in the struggle for bread, peace, and Black power in the 21st century. To join today, visit impedum.org/today and select a membership level. Our community rallies are held every Sunday from 3 to 5, and you can also view them on the Burning Spirit News YouTube channel and Facebook. We encourage the online viewers to like, share, and subscribe, and to the Burning Spirit TV YouTube channel, Uhuru. We know that the time of February, which is also known as Black History Month, is really not our history. You know, it's really not our history that we are learning. But it is the watered down whitewashing of his story being the white man. Once again, we know that the time of February, which is also known as Black History Month, is really not our history that we are learning, but the watered down whitewashing of his story. But today, we're going to spend a little moment to not only reclaim our history, but also fall back in love with it. In addition to reminding you about the April 17th through 19th plenary to bring that's being held here in St. Louis, Missouri. Matra. But the theme is this time till there's one power in our hands. It's not just Trump, it's the whole damn system.
Yes.
Uhuru. But before we continue, we want to ask you to stand and please join us with the singing of our African Nation Fight song written by our very own Uhuru. Uhuru. If we could crank it up on the sound a little bit, I hear some of our comrades and audience already started. Uhuru.
We'll dance and sing songs when revolutions won. We are ready. Africa's best daughters and sons. We are
Socialist
1 billion strong. Yes, we are one. We are red, black, and green for you and me.
No.
African workers, we must unite. We are winning against white power, the parasite. We are winning. Long live the liberation of our African nation. Freedom through organization. Socialist world, our creation. 1 billion strong, yes, we are one. We are winning. Viva Haiti, who first set us free. We are winning. Carry the torch of Jean-Jacques Dessalines. We are winning. Ou peut-être pour les cailles. We are winning. We will rejoice when the colonizers die. We are winning. Long live the liberation of our African nation. Freedom through organization. Socialist world, our creation. 1 billion strong, yes, we are one. We are winning. Fight like Fannie Lou and Malcolm too. We are winning. Remember our struggle, always be true. We are winning. From Harlem to Brazil to Tanzania. We are winning. We fight and live for a free Africa. We are winning. Long live the liberation of our African nation. Freedom through organization. Socialist world, our creation. 1 billion strong, yes, we are one. We are winning. Patrice Lumumba's life won't be in vain. We are winning. Keep up the work in Marcus Garvey's name. We are winning. Independent and free is what we will be. We are winning. Africa will bask in our victory. We are winning. Long live the liberation of our African nation. Freedom through organization. Socialist world, our creation. 1 billion strong, yes, we are one. We are
Yes, we are. We are winning. Uhuru. Fist up. Fist up. When we fight, we win. Uhuru. So we must continue to fight back. Freedom through organization. Uhuru. Uhuru. So right now, this part of the agenda, or this part of the Sunday rally, is the political education. Uhuru, I know we've been doing a political report of the plenary, so we had to put a pause in the RENDP. But right now we pick back up at the 12th point. Uhuru. Uhuru. So right now, I want to read. We demand the immediate removal of borders separating our brothers and sisters from each other. The borders must come down, not only because they validate the imperialist definition of our identity as separated people to our disadvantage, but also because the borders restrict us to an economy that will never be large enough to provide for our needs and transform our situation. Uhuru. And I'll just be brief with the political education and open up for discussion. But unfortunately, we see this throughout our communities. Don't matter if it's here in America or globally, especially globally when these artificial borders. Yes, can we put a door shut, please? But with these artificial borders in Africa that was drawn up during the Berlin Conference, that because how it was drawn, it split up communities, split up tribes, and because of that, they truly don't have a representative that have they needs at hand. What they do have because of the split and because of the separation is a puppet that's controlling their future. We call it neo-colonialist. And once again, because of the restricted borders, you have these artificial communities or what have you. But once again, we demand the immediate removal of these borders, the immediate removal. And it invalidate this imperialistic definition of our identity. Because you see some folks say that we are South Africans and we don't want no Somalis in here. We don't want no Haitians. I mean, because of these separation of the borders, you got one that's pushing off their own kind, pushing back their own kind. Even here in wherever you located, but in particular St. Louis, you might have once upon a time an issue with the St. Louis and Kansas City beef within the prisons. Or locally, we call East St. Louis, what you call them? It was a derogatory statement that the St. Louis said within river rats. River rats is what we call the East St. Louis once upon a time because of the separation, which they still are same comrade. They're just on the other side of the Mississippi.
Right.
You know, because of this separation within these borders, might have right here where we at, the Dub beefing with the Lad, or OPEX beefing with, Deuces, but within a few blocks radius. But we say do away with these borders because we all Africans. We got on the boat as Africans, got off the boat as Africans. And not only that, we know because these borders within they call it wards and the splitting up of the wards and how they split it up. You know what I mean? You can't really have an effective economy within that. Because if a business is outside of this ward, therefore it will not contribute to the tax base of that ward. That's how the east side is dilapidated to this to this very day, because all these corporations or all these industries set up on the outskirts of east side and rob East St. Louis of the economics they need to grow their communities. But we say do away with these things. Colonialism must die.
Yeah.
Uhuru? Right now, I want to open up for discussion, and hopefully a lot of the discussion that's happened on back there come forth here. Uhuru?
Uhuru. Can we hear this? Can people hear this mic?
Yeah.
Put your mouth right up to it. Yeah, I wanted to appreciate the political education. This is point number 12 from the Revolutionary National Democratic Program of the International People's Democratic Uhuru Movement. And I appreciate it especially because it says we demand the immediate removal of borders separating our brothers and sisters from each other. Because we know that certainly on the continent, that they have set up numerous borders. They've chopped up Africa into what, 52, some say 54 different countries, if you will, and it has pitted, Africans against one another. And the same thing that they do here in our community, that they draw borders, make all these little incorporated cities inside of a whole large city. And, it pits Africans against one another. So I really appreciate this point, and just the recognition that if we struggle together, we can bring these borders down.
Uhuru.
Yes, yes.
Appreciate it. Okay, we got more discussion.
Uhuru.
Uhuru.
I appreciate the political education for the simple reason, not only do we talk about separating Africa, we've been separated here in the city, ward by number, by pitted against each other. This block against that block, we put it against schools, against that school. This separation is a way of defeating us, keeping us from becoming one and utilizing our power as a whole. When you separate a family, you separate a family, you separate the power, and you kill the people. This is one way for our defeat, is separation. Families were brought here and separated. Fathers, sons, mothers, daughters, separated, period. And that put a real nasty taste in your mouth for going back and finding who you're related to or who you think is your parents. When all along you find out that neither one of them, or maybe one of them, is your parent. And it's put people in a position right here today where they're just finding out who their relatives are. I found my sister yesterday on my father's side. We met, both of us the same age. She never knew she had a sister. The father died, and now I've got a new niece, couple of nephews, couple of great grandchildren. I got a great uncle in Oakland that me and my daughter got to go see. Just because colonialism put us in a position where there are many mothers that had children, and the children grew up without their fathers, not only without them, the knowledge of who they were. That's dangerous.
Yeah.
That is dangerous. And it's not the parents' fault. All of it is put on colonialism, from bringing Africans here, separating them and selling them for goods. And that practice when we were so-called free, which was still not the case, we're still now looking for relatives. That ain't right. That ain't right. This has to stop. Uhuru.
Uhuru, yeah, all borders are illegitimate, like every last one of them. And not only do they separate us as African people, they separate us from the rest of the oppressed peoples of the world.
That's right.
We have ICE and Border Patrol terrorizing not just Mexican and indigenous communities, but our people too are being scooped up by ICE and Border Patrol. Our people too are getting killed in the streets by these entities. I think it's like imperative to understand that, like, not only are we separated, but we can't even align with other oppressed people. They don't want that because all of us together will liberate the world.
That's right.
All of us
Yeah.
together will liberate the world, and we'll be able to share our resources and be able to feed, clothe, and house ourselves if we're able to come together. So they separate us. They convince us to hate each other. They convince us to hate other folks too, and that's all a matter. All a point of maintaining order and maintaining dominion over material resources, our labor, our people power, period.
Uhuru. Uhuru. I want to appreciate Comrade Rage and the other comrades that spoke. And once again, I just want to conclude the political education by reading it once again for the folks that just missed it. We demand the immediate removal of borders separating our brothers and sisters from each other. The borders must come down, and not only because they validate an imperialistic definition of our identities as separated people to our disadvantage, but also because the borders restrict us to an economy that will never be large enough to provide for our needs and transform our situation. Uhuru. Uhuru. Well, before we go forward to our outreach report by International President, I want to first of all give a couple house rules. Please put your phone on silent or vibrate, so it won't be distractive. Please keep the talking to a minimal or under your breath, because it is distracting and feed into the live stream. The bathrooms is to your left, my right. And I want a couple more things. I want to appreciate our guests. I know two of our fine individuals came dressed up in a sunny best. So I want to appreciate the individuals, the couple. And I saw another one. My man right here. With all the wisdom that's shown upon you. Some folks might call it gray. I don't want to get in trouble by calling it gray, so I said all the wisdom. So anyway, I want to appreciate our guests for showing up. Once again, this is called Aquava because we want to welcome you and keep welcoming you. So without further ado, well, before I say that, birthdays in February. We know Nova birthday is today, so we want to wish her a revolutionary happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, no. Okay. We know that she tried to run off our crib or our Conrad King at birthday. I believe it's next week sometimes. Uhuru. And we got Luke, not our president rep, Kumbula. His birthday today too. Hey, so usually he be operating on live. Today he's in absent because of he's celebrating his birthday. So we want to wish the comrades that's here and abroad birthday, a happy revolutionary birthday if your birthday month is in February. Uhuru. But without further ado, I want to bring up our international president, Luke Day, for the outreach report. Uhuru. Uhuru.
Uhuru, comrades, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Uhuru, right on. Well, I want to appreciate President Westbrook for for bringing me on here, and as well as you all for your attendance. Outreach. The question of outreach is real important because every time we do outreach, it's an assault on this government's ability to silence Black people. Our slogan is self-determination is the highest expression of genuine democracy for the colonized, for the oppressed. And this is in recognition of the constant and unceasing attacks on and abrogation on the national democratic rights of African people. And so every time we do outreach, we do outreach to organize the African community in support of our democratic rights. And so, oh no, give me a sec. One of the things that we've done this week is we've done postering on West Florissant. Okay. So we've done postering on West Florissant. This includes plenary posters, and as well as the cars, and as well as Sunday rally posters and cars. In addition, Conrad Gregory had came in on Wednesday to pick up some material. He was given 75 Sunday rally cards, I think, as well as some posters. And he also let us know some outreach opportunities going on at a local community college. I don't have that paper with me. One of the things that we also had gotten this Thursday was outreach material, both posters and flyers for next Saturday's film screening of the Alabama Solution. And so since then, we've been able to put posters. The library had accepted posters over there in Grant. There's a laundromat as well that accepted posters as well as cards, both the library and the laundry. And then Sweet Arts, they accepted the cards. They accepted the cards. That was 25. So that was in total 125. The Jubilee Church, we dropped posters and flyers there. That's 6 posters and 100, and 100 flyer cards. And as well as AMWO had their People's Clothing Drive yesterday, and some outreach material was dropped off there as well. One of the things that we need help with is all throughout this week. We need postering up on Grand, postering, handing out flyers. I've been eyeing Natural Bridge and Grand. There seems to be a lot of activity happening there. It's also not too far from the Aldi's, I'm pretty sure. So if we can get some forces there, we'll be doing outreach every weekday from 11 to 1. So if you're available, do let me know. We also do outreach after 4 p.m. So please do let us know. There are outreach materials in the back. We have a lot of materials to push out. Oh, one of the things that we also got this week was Uhuru Shambhala, the Freedom cards, the Freedom Farm flyers, and as well as cards that need to be put up as well and distributed around. And yeah, anyways, with that being said, Uhuru.
Fight back. Fight back. Uhuru, I want to appreciate our international president for the outreach report. And we know outreach, as he said, is very, very important. Uhuru. All right now. Now, the time of the hour. Uhuru. I want to first by reiterating the theme of today, which is revolutionary love. Uhuru, learning and telling the truth, arming our community with African internationalism. Uhuru, I know this kind of was a mouthful, so I say it again. Revolutionary love. I mean, we know that yesterday was your Thanksgiving Day, right? Right. I know a Conrad Lucas is filling out my Thanksgiving card now with some money in it. Right on, appreciate it. But we say revolutionary love. Revolutionary love. and learning the truth and arming our community with African International, because we also know that this month is African History Month, known as Black History Month. So, with that being said, I also want to reiterate that we know that this time of February, which also known as Black History Month, is really not our history that we are learning, but the watered down whitewashing of history. But today, we're going to take this little short journey, some might call it long, uh, journey and reclaim our history and appreciate our history. But I want to start, since I'm biased, I want to start here locally in St. Louis, and I want to mention one of your first millionaires. And I want to, how many of us by the round of hands know about Annie Malone? You know about Annie Malone? Oh, this is good. I think majority of the crowd. Uh, for some of those who might not know Annie Malone, whenever you get a chance, you could throw the picture up on the screen. But she was an African woman that was born August 9th, 1877. Uh, and soon after that, she was soon a orphan because of her both of her parents died. She was bounced from home to home, her sister homes, from home to home within Illinois. You know, she was the 10th child out of 11 siblings. We know within the process of her growing up around 12, she had to, you know, I don't want to say drop out, but had to leave school because of her ailing, because of her illness, because of her condition. But once again, we know that as she was going from house to house, her sister houses, uh, she had this early love for chemistry. Even when she was in school before she left around 12, chemistry was one of her favorite, subjects. But as I was saying, her sisters, she was playing in their head, and as she was playing in her head, she created uh, a, a hair product that was good for straightening African hair at that time. Because we know once upon a time, folks used to use bacon grease, bacon grease, grease fat, goose fat, etc., to straighten their hair. And a lot of the stuff, chemicals, it was, you know, uh, harsh to the hair, etc. But she played and with certain chemicals, and she developed her chemicals, and she ended up calling it Poro, hair growth. And around the 1904, when the World's Fair was here in St. Louis, she came from over Brooklyn, Illinois, with this product to help get it known to the world. Eventually, she moved from Illinois to St. Louis, where she built up this Poro College, and in this Poro College, it was first on Market, then Pine, then eventually it settled in the Ville area. Now, when it was in the Ville area, someone that we know from Chicago area named Madam C.J. Walker came down here and was part of her school. While she was part of that school, stole some of this info, went back and created her story. We know Chuck Berry also was part of this school. That at that time it was a massive building for that time. Like I said, it was built in 1917. We know in 1917 it was also the East Side riots that happened, the East Side massacre that happened in Illinois, East Side, and when folks came over here, Josephine Bakers, etc., came over here. But um, the Provo College, it at that time it included many, many different entities, economic entities. One of them was they had a theater within that building. They had a rooftop garden within the building. They had a bakery. They had an ice cream parlor. They even had a sewing rooms where the employees sold clothing for the cosmetic students. I mean, they did their own thing. They didn't have to outsource. They was the outsourcer, if you will, because they had employees internationally across the globe. But we also know that she was the first millionaire. She was the first in the city. Look at read if you read the whole thing. She was the first in the city that had a Rolls Royce. In 1934, she was in the papers as the richest in the city. You know, she built Annie Malone school in 1927. I mean, she was a philanthropist. She funded black colleges. She's the modern day Bill Gates, but she funded black colleges. She gave scholarships to folks, you know, black Africans who want to go to college. You know, even during the what you call it, the 1930s, the depression, where a lot of folks was getting jobs was getting cut, getting laid off. She locally, you had a limp bureau that had to lay off a lot of folks. You had the Anheuser-Busch that laid off a lot of folks. They said that Annie Malone in the Poro College did not lay off no one. She took a pay cut just to keep folks housed because you know that the depression was a troubling time. But I don't want to go and I don't want to stay long, but that's one of the most prominent person within our town, which is locally, right? Uhuru. But that woman, that beautiful woman. But I want to. I think I kept stayed a little bit long right there, so I want to hurry up and speed it up, speed it up, speed it up. We know that this history, Black history within this land, is just short compared to the history of this land. We know these Caucasians want to lie and say they is the progenitor of history. We know they a lie. But they time around here came in the 1490s. I'm sorry, the 1490s. But we know the 1490s is still relatively early compared to the people that was here. The largest of North America, which in that time was the Mesoamerica, they called it, was the most dense populated place. The history go back thousands of years. We know one among this part right here, the largest of them was the Mississippians. We know some of the Mississippians culture through the coal mine. Some of it is still here locally. But we know that's here South America, but in North America, but in South America, from the 1330s at its peak, the Inca communities of Peru, and they was known for their gold. But the gold and the people was devastated when Columbus came and Spain came and colonized Peru, and etc. We know the story. We know the story. But why did I mention 1330s and the Perus? Because if you remember right around that time, the Europeans was they was in a dark period. They call it the Middle Ages, the Dark Ages. You know what I'm talking about? Around the same time, the natives of all lands were still prosperous, except for the natives of the European continent. But when Christopher Columbus finally came up out of Spain. Why did they finally came up out of Spain? Because it was around the same time where they finally pushed out the Moors. They finally got up out of the Black Plague, and now they looking for riches, the riches of what they thought was Mesa Musa. But anyway, I don't want to preach to the choir because I know this. I mentioned all these thousands of years, but guess what? Your and I history still predates these history. Because we know the Inca community, tribe, they go back tens of thousands of years, but our community predates that. A lot of times we want to go to the pyramids and those days and the Sphinx, but our history predates that. Predates that. Don't let the white folk with the watered down and whitewashing on our history lie to you and say that they created history in the antiquity days. Because we know surely that's a lie. We know surely that's a lie. I wanna go to quickly because I know I ate up a lot of time. So we know that our history is great, right? They want to teach you or tell you that your history started in 1619 when these new British colonialists hijacked a Spanish ship and brought the first 19 Africans to here in the North Americas. They want to tell you that's where your history starts. But we know that copper color folks was here because of what? Many years, many years ago of migration. If you look out, every aborigines or native people of every continent is what? They was first black. Some folks don't believe that the first people of Japan and the first people of Asia was black. Some folks don't believe the first people of this land was black. The first people of Australia was black. Because of it was colonized and the people was exterminated. But if you go to the Solomon Islands now, some of the Solomon Islands now is one of the oldest people, original people of that land. And guess what? They are black. But all these all these native people of these lands, before it was colonized, before it was touched by Europe, we know the native was black. How do we know? Why was they black? Because you and I know that civilization started what? In Africa. We know the books and historians want to tell you about the cradle of civilization. But even if you want to go to the cradle of civilization in Mesopotamian area with the Sumers, etc., they was freaking. But once again, we know that the Homo erectus. Well, before I say that, our history is great, right? We know that this Earth is 4.5 billion, 4.6 billion years old, right? And we know that within that time, 3 millions of within 3 millions, you have some folks want to call it early civilization, early people in where? Europe? No. Americas? No. Africa. Homo erectus, the Homo erectus. But make a long story short, 3 million ago, 3 million years ago in Africa. You know, they tell you about this Lucy that was what's that 1.4, 1.7 years ago. You know, they tell you about this other the pecan Peking fossil. They tell you about the Tucana boy fossil. All originated Homo erectus. I'm butchering the name. My mouth dry. But all these is migrated out of Africa. But I don't want to go back that far. I think it's too late. Let's talk about you and I, modern day humans, the Homo sapiens. 300,000 years ago. We ain't gonna talk about 3 million ago, even though that life was in Africa. 300,000 years ago, where they say the first Homo sapiens did what? Walked among Africa. Around 100,000. Some folks dated to between 16 and 80,000. The earliest date 115,000. But where have you? They migrated out of Africa. Now, you go look at the origin, or you can look at the fossils of every continent in the world, and what would you see? You would see the fossils of the Homo erectus, the early humans and Homo sapiens. You would see that fossil everywhere. One body group 3 million ago, 3 million years. Other body group 300,000 years. But they don't want you to look at that. That's history. They want to start you and I history 10,000 years ago with the Sphinx and the pyramids and stuff like that. They don't want to tell you our history. If you want to go back to even the days of, they call you and I prehistory because it predates the time where it was recorded. But if you want to go back to history, the day when it was recorded, let's go to the Sumerians that created the first wheel and fire and etc. These black folks, they the origin of Sargon, or the ancestry or the lineage. But before I get to him, because I'm going to end with him in just a second, I want to speak about Nimrod for a second. Y'all don't mind, do y'all? Now, Nimrod You got a lot of anytime you got the mass of the folks down to someone, it let me know that someone either two things must have been a black and not only that, it must have been a real character. Because fake and mythical characters they praise. But Nimrod, we know it was demigods by the Jews, by Christians, and by Muslims. You know what I'm talking about? But it's a story. If you look within the Bible, you know what I'm saying, it's many different stories within the Bible that point to us as in the mass roles we play within life. I'm not fit to start preaching the Bible because it's not a church. But what I would say, your Quran, your Bible, and your the King Tablet of Samaria. I mean, it's a lot of ancient manuscripts that spoke about Nimrod. And who is Nimrod? We know that Nimrod is the son of Cush, the grandson of Ham, and the great grandson of Noah. Nimrod was a king of the lower Mesopotamian area, later conquered the higher lower Mesopotamian area, which is Iraq, later the higher Mesopotamian area, which was Syria area, they call it Syria. But anyway, make a long story short, that he was known as a mighty hunter before the Lord. You know what I'm talking about? But why I mention Nimrod, you know what I'm talking about? Because Nimrod, the great Babylonian culture where folks want to you and I to see these Arabs in it, in the Sudan, where America overthrew them, etc. These people in there now. They want you and I to think that they the original people of that. But if you look at the culture, I mean, the story of Babel, and where language was distorted and folks was pushed across the world. Folks know that story, the Tower of Babel, where one man said, "Let's build a tower to go up against go up to the gods of God, etc." You know the story. I don't want to push to you, but that was speaking about a black man. When you read that word, the Quran, the Bible, don't read it as a myth. No, some of this is speaking about you. It's just they whitewashed it. But Nimrod was a great man. But even though how Nimrod was a great man, he was not one of the greatest Africans. I only said it because a lot of folks want to put our history just within Africa, but they don't know the great folks out of Africa. We traveled up out of Africa and made everything else great. It's just when the colonizers touched it, they tainted it. They tainted it. But we know that Babylon culture, it was a great culture. We know the Persia. Well, how many of us know Persian culture? Cyrus the Great. How many of us know that Cyrus the Great is a black? Some of these things you can just look Google and look at it. Look at these people. Why I mention Cyrus the Great? Because these is Persians. And right now, in modern day, we know that the American trying to overtake the Persians now with this within Iran. They ain't Arabs, they Persians. But right now, it's a fight between America and the Persians. But before they was the people they was now, they was black people. Don't let nobody whitewash your history. Reclaim your history. But Sargon, I like Sargon. Like I said, we all know about the Sumerian history. If we don't, read it. But their history kind of faded because one man overtook many different city states, satellite regions, and consolidated it and made a great empire, which we know as Arcadians. Arcad. He was from Arcad, but they're known as the Arcadians. You know, because of Sargon, this black man, the Arcadians was one of the longest spoken language. And not only that, it was the derivative, or it's you got Aramaic, you got not only Aramaic, Hebrew, not only Hebrew, it's another language, Swahili, but all these is derivatives, the Sumerian language, all these is derivatives of Aramaic. I mean, Arcadian language. A black man, a black man. I want to, I guess because I feel like I ate up a lot of times, I want to end it with this here, right? Everywhere you turn, from the dawn of history to now, black folks when we was taken out of our environment, we adopted. When we finally was taken and stolen from Africa with no culture, with no name, and we was brought to this place, then we create our own music, our own culture, our own food. They call it soul food. It's really poison food. But we created our own to this day, and it's a great language. You got the world that's trying to hijack our culture, what we created. So now I don't mind you loving your Western culture that you created, that you love. I don't mind it, but don't you forget about your ancient cultures that we created many years ago, that they whitewashed, that they lied about. This is, I guess, off the heels of Valentine's. Let us reclaim our history and let us fall in love with our history because it is great. Uhuru, Uhuru. So right now, so that's Sargon of Akkad. Now, the great Akkadian race. Now, I will say this, and I leave it alone. This particular guy right here, a great king. You could tell by his image, his broad lips, big nose, nappy beard. Look at my nappy beard. You know what I'm talking about? They got another picture where he's turned from the side and it look like he got his dreads in a ponytail. You know what I'm talking about? But make a long story short, you get when Arcade when he died, his empire was so vast that his children had to split it up. And when his children split it up, you got your Assyrian and your Babylonian and your Akkadian. So that's our history. Uhuru, Uhuru. But right now, I want to open up for discussion. And look, and I think they purposely done that. Just in case 1,000 years ago, you know how they try to say King Tut is a European and it's still a debate to this day. I think he knew the debate that might come out of who was the first great I don't want to use that emperor, but make a long story short, I think he knew that. That's why he purposely put a statue of himself in bronze. So just in case you don't know this nappy hair, look at the color of the statue. But anyway, let's open up for discussion, y'all. Uhuru, Uhuru, your history is great. Now let everybody run to there once. We know I gave a lot.
All right, Uhuru comrades, my name is Emmanuel. I want to appreciate Comrade President Westbrook for that presentation. I think it's it's real timely as well. You know, when we talk about like revolutionary love and our history, because this the United States and colonialism anywhere in the world works to destroy any piece of history that belongs to us.
Yeah.
When we talk about things like the great civilizations and all these things, thousands of years, this Conrad went back millions of years. That's right. Oh, yeah. It's important to note that humanity's first golden age, was in Africa. The first many golden ages where human development had rapid development and all these things the first civilizations, many beautiful, large, complex civilizations and things like that, that the colonizers today, I can't replicate, but they want to speak on and things like that, like they have the right to speak on that, but it's also important to note that when speaking about like reclaiming our history and things like that, and this poor education that they give to us in terms of who we are, who we've always been. When Africans learn what our history is, or was and things like that, this education prompts us you know, gives us like a problem statement or something like that. You know, that this is the history and this is what exists today. You know, why does that happen? And that's because you know, we were forcibly dispersed all throughout the world. Starting in the 1400s when Portugal first initiated an assault on Africa that dispersed us all around the world, enslaved us all around the world. And this is the thing that created this modern economy that we see today. The whole global economy it rests on a foundation of the attack and enslavement of African people. That's and this development, all the work that we do goes towards producing life for another people, not for ourselves, which is not revolutionary love. But revolutionary love is fighting to reclaim that process back to us. Because even here in St. Louis, look at the north side, look at the south side too, where Athens Beach. You know, all the development that's happening, all the labor, our labor, goes towards developing and you know, the entire business district and South St. Louis with White Bogey and things like that, and all these things. They live on our backs. You know, and so that's also important because history prompts us to do something. It should prompt us to do something. It should always, and that's even when you teach history to one of the kids and things like that. You know, it's a history that gives them a sense of dignity. Because you know, if they're having trouble with things like algebra, Atkins graded algebra. You know, and the only reason that they don't understand it today is because the people who educate them, you know, are oftentimes ill-equipped to educate them. And so
You see,
yeah. And so yeah, it's not an our fault and things like that. African people are creative. We built all this, all the developments you see in France and here in the U.S., in England, all over the world and things like that. Those are the developments that should have gone to Africa.
Right.
And so this whole thing about colonialism is a thing that must go. It must be destroyed. And Malcolm X had teach this. Martin Luther King taught you that black is beautiful. James Brown was it black? I'm black. Yeah, I'm proud. Yeah, you should be proud of yourself. It's a wonderful history. It's a wonderful history. And the only thing that interrupted it is colonialism. That's the thing that must go. I appreciate the work being done, you know, in terms of the redevelopment and revitalizing of the West Florissant corridor, the work of the Uhuru movement and things like that. But this needs to happen everywhere where African people are, where we have economic development and political determination on our own terms, in our own hands. And so I just appreciate this, you know, yeah, just the whole thing today.
Uhuru.
Oh, comrade, I want to appreciate the history lesson. And I thought it was amazing. You even brought up Lucy. Now, I'm doing some writing about Lucy, called Meet Lucy. But Chairman said something to me that made me think, well, you know what? He said if she was African, her name wouldn't have been Lucy. And that is
The colonizer named her.
so true, but the colonizer named her Lucy because he was British.
Yeah.
She wasn't blonde hair, blue eyes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
she was the first woman that they know walked
Yeah.
upright.
Yeah.
She was booked. They got her from Hagar in northern Ethiopia, and there's her whole people, the whole colony of people there is buried under the dirt and stuff, and they found many bones. But I want people to meet Lucy and let them know that that is not her name when she walked the earth. She had been colonized with the discovery. And when you meet Lucy, you meet Yesterday,
That's right.
You meeting Ikinge.
That's right.
You meeting Ushairi.
That's right.
You meeting Asada.
That's
That's Lucy. If she was called by her name,
What you
it would
said.
have been an
What you
African
said.
name. And whenever you meet an African woman, whatever she's called, her ancestry is not Lucy.
Yeah.
But it is the first known,
Yeah.
so far, known woman to walk under the African sun.
Yeah.
While the rest of civilization was on all four.
What you said.
And the things that we do today is from our ancestry that has come down through us.
Yeah.
And every time you walk and you see an African woman, you can say, look at Lucy.
Yeah.
But that's us.
Yes.
They call her Lucy, but that's not her name,
What you said.
because that's not who she was. And that's not who we are. So we're going to take it back.
We're gonna take it back.
We're going to take it back.
We're gonna reclaim our history.
Reclaim our history
Mhm.
and be great like we are.
Mhm.
We always
That's right.
be great.
That's
They
right.
say be great. We are
Always
great.
great.
To be great,
Yeah.
all we have to do is walk
What you
and
said.
breathe.
What you said.
Uhuru.
Uhuru. Fist up. Fight back.
And I want to thank you for the study today too as well, because a lot of the information, and I know through my studies and just information that I've received over the past couple of years, just about even with the stuff in Europe, you look at how the European has taken a lot of the stuff that we've done, and you've mentioned all of this already, and they credit it to themselves and they take that credit away from us, and then we feel like we haven't accomplished much, and it's only until recently that we've started, well, for some of us, that we've started realizing how much we've done. And you just think back about, that still kind of baffles me, or I don't know, I guess saddens me when I think about what the world could have been, because even when you think about how it was in Egypt, where they would, what was it, the Greeks would come over and learn a lot of stuff from
Right, it is.
the
Yeah.
Ethiopians
Yeah.
about certain things, and they would be okay with them learning that and taking it back to wherever they came from. And we were a sharing people, and then to have a people to come in and just still take, destroy, and all of that type of stuff, it kind of is sad, because you know, they were very well advanced. And you think about, we're advanced now and it's moving pretty fast now, but we could have been surpassed the point that we're at now. We would not be dealing with a lot of the social issues that we're talking about. And that's one thing I think that we need to be mindful of as a people, is to stop trying to compete against one another, because that's kind of, when you look at what they're doing, because they always want to try to say, well, we were the first and there were no other people that did these things. And we tend to do that with each other. We got to be the first to do X, Y, and Z. And they put that in our mentality. They use those things against us in a sense, or to benefit them. So now we're wanting to be the first person in line and get a CD or some gym shoes or whatever it is at crazy rates. And then it's discounted later. And we have to get out of that mindset of knowing that, you know, you'll get it eventually. And just to be appreciative of understand what we've come from, what we have. And because that's one of the things I'm working on now, is waking up to a lot of the mind games that they play on us, and kind of just seeing it out in the world. We look at, even with constantly them telling us of what we should be appreciative, or what we should be concerned about, and things like that. Like they took Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben off of the packages, and it's like those were the ones that we had in our household, because we felt like it was something that related to us. But when you look at that Levi logo, they took that off of the jeans. And I don't know if a lot of y'all are familiar with the logo. It's a pair of two horses on either side of a pair of jeans to pull those apart. That has a way more harsher meaning than having somebody with a headscarf.
For someone who's not familiar with it, like the children, explain that it's not the pockets or the durability of the pins that they pulling apart. What was it signifying that was pulling apart?
before if a black person got out of hand, what they felt got out of hand, they would use the two horses to pull that apart. So now they're saying our genes are tougher than a nigga.
Yeah.
So when you look at it from that point, that's pretty much what that represents. And so, but they took all of those other symbols off that we were okay with. We didn't have a problem with seeing our own image in anything, but they left that type of image. And so I think we need to kind of be mindful of the things that we're doing. Cause I felt bad one time, even with not too bad, but I bought a sweater with images of black people on it. And I'm thinking it's got black folks on it. I'm buying it from a black person. No, not none of that. So just even being mindful of that, trying to support and things like that. And sometimes it takes a lot of time to sit down and research and things like that. But we have to stop trying to compete against one another, because it's not us that we're competing against. We don't have to outdo everybody. We need to really start working on filling in those gaps that we have. So if somebody is over here doing a thing, we don't have to say, well, I think I can do that better. No, let's send over people there to have them fill in that, help support what they're doing. And then we can fill in a gap where there's another need that we need in our community. So those are some of the things that I think we should be kind of looking at too. And just be mindful of.
Uhuru, yeah. All you. I want to appreciate this discussion and just really want to bring us back to what African internationalism teaches us, that Chairman Omali Shatella teaches us, the leader of the Uhuru movement, and not forget that all of these things, all of these circumstances are a result of us being a colonized people.
That's right.
Yes.
Colonialism.
That's right.
Every single aspect of our lives that we struggle in, that we're struggling every day to overcome, to overthrow colonialism.
That's right.
That is the enemy that has divided us, separated us, brainwashed us into thinking that our history began with them, because before that, we was just some savages, uncivilized, running around doing all kinds of things. And if it wasn't for them, there would be no us. But it's absolutely the other way around.
That's right.
There would be no them.
That's right.
If it wasn't for us. And everything that we do still serves colonialism. That's why it's in our interest to develop our communities, take the power back that we once had. We can have it again, and we will have it again. Uhuru.
Uhuru. Uhuru. So, okay.
Very brief.
You got it.
No, you got it. The flow is yours. The mic is yours.
We talk about Earth being 1,000,000 years old, 1,000,000,000 years old. Well, I just want to say Nebuchadnezzar is
Another black man. I'm sorry, go ahead. My fault.
He's in the Testament. And he's in every history book. And he's in the Old Testament, every history book, which will put Earth under 6,000 years old. I just want you to consider that. That's all. It'll put it under 6,000 years old. And I'm losing my thoughts. Yeah, the Hebrew year. There are those who think the Hebrew year is the right year. So just want you to think about that and take that into consideration.
Uhuru. So yeah, I want to say that quickly. Yeah, Nebuchadnezzar is one person that I was gonna speak about. Fast forward, but a black person. But yeah, a lot of these folks at one point miscalculated and might have thought that the Earth is younger than what it actually is. But we know because of there's methods outside of carbon dating, methods outside of carbon dating that says that the Earth is roughly 4.5, 4.6 billion years. But right now, it's not the necessary spot for us to debate that because this not
Take it into consideration.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Take into consideration. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. But still, I want to. Yes, ma'am. So I appreciate your comment. I appreciate your comment. But I also want to end it with this here. Your and I history predates 5,000 years. Now maybe them Caucasians maybe, but I ain't fit to go through. So I appreciate the comment, Uhuru. I want to leave it since we talk about Nebuchadnezzar instead of Babylonians. Nimrod, the person I was just speaking about, his, even though I said it Babylonians, which it is, his genealogy is known for the Cushites. His ancestry is known as the Cushites. Cushites. So, the Nubians. So do your homework on these folks that I mentioned, or Conrad has mentioned. Um, Once again, I want to appreciate the discussion. I want to appreciate the participation. And I also want to bring our Conrad Fofi up to bring us to the resources and join.
Is that
Like that. Like that.
Uhuru?
The next slide, so we can hear you. Next slide.
Next slide. I know her. Okay, comrade. Oh. Okay, comrades. I am 4 feet, Ushairi Al Kibulon. And my birth certificate say Deborah. But you know what? That was a colonized name. I'm 4 feet because I hear poetry with 2 feet on earth and 2 feet in spirit. And that brings truth 4 feet deep to the mic. Today, the truth I want to give you is our goal today is $75. All right, next slide. Okay, why $75? Because we operate in a colonial system, and to get things done, we have to buy things like paper for the flyers, we have to do printing, we pay the gas and electricity, and we pay for Wi-Fi. This is the things we do so we can bring people in and let them know what we are about. And we are about the Black community. Like Chairman said, y'all, we work for Black people. We don't work for Russia. All right? We don't work for Russia. And what we do is give ourselves and the little coins that we collect, we do that to educate the community so the community can learn how to protect themselves, how to fight for themselves, because can't everybody pick up a gun, and nobody really wants to pick up a gun. But you know what? We're going to have to learn to do what we got to do to get our freedom. Okay? You can go to Cash App, $ NPNUM, which will also show IEC, which show that it's the right NPNUM Cash App. You can go to impedum.org/donate if you got a credit card and you want to go to the website. You can do cash. We'll take credit cards. We'll take nickel, dimes, quarters. But the $75 will be a assistance in helping us to get the word out so people will know, can teach political education like you've learned today. It's just that simple. All right. Be great. Before you can be great, you have to be yourself. And to be yourself, you need to know that you're African. And since you know you're African, you know that we're under siege. You know that there's a fight going on, not only for independence, but it's a fight going on just for us to live. All right? Now, it's 1 billion of us or more, but you know what? The borders separate us so we won't know how strong we are. My favorite analogy is a finger will get broken if you hit somebody with it. A fist will leave a really, really loud mark. And you can teach a really, really good lesson. So it takes unity to get the word out there. And if you see 2 or 3 people, what does the Bible say? 3 people come together.
2 or more come together in my name. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if you get 3, you can have a unit. And you can make some power. All right. We're gonna make this happen, y'all.
Yeah.
In my lifetime.
Next slide.
All right, next slide. Now, if you want to be a part of this fight, don't take a whole rocket science. You don't have to be rocket science. You can become a member of the International People Democratic Uhuru Movement, which is a volunteer organization. And if you can if you can answer the phone, or if you can call people, if you can give out a flyer, if you can just say, you know what, I want people to know about what's going on here because they got something good going on over here. And this is not just here, we're around the world. Okay. And the main place we need you is at the plenary, but we're going to tell you about that later. Become a member of the International People Democratic Uhuru Movement. $25 for the general membership. That's a year. $25 a year for a general membership, and you can be a part of all of this good stuff we talking and being a part of it. If you're not the Musa Bantu level is a $10 annual membership for students and unemployed. $10. George Jackson Desi Wood level impeded membership is $5 a year. And that is for our incarcerated brothers and sisters and children that are behind bars. They will get a burning spear to know what was happening out here. So when they do come out, they'll know where to go. They'll know what to do, and they won't get caught up again because we're going to educate them and tell them what's what. These memberships will give you the A's and the B's on how to fight, why to fight, and to get somebody to fight with you. Because if you by yourself, you get hurt. But if you got a unit behind you, that's when you make some action. Because you know what? The stuff that they're offering us as Black people or African people, people with melanin, is bull. Because they're just going to smooth things over till the next day until they do something else. We got to stop this stuff now. Who become a member, have a say-so, and put your dollar in, because every dollar you donate is a dollar for freedom. Uhuru? Okay. And I'll come back later to let you know we made our goal or not. Okay? Uhuru.
I got faith in people. We made our goal. I got faith in y'all. Hopefully we surpass our goal.
And you guys online, we want you to.
Uhuru. Uhuru, I want to appreciate Conrad. Let's get a round of applause to her. Uhuru. And let's give a round of applause to you guys because y'all sat through this rally. Come on now, I can do better than that. I mean, y'all put up with me. I mean, you know, I got a speech impediment, so half the words I say y'all probably didn't understand because of my thick tongue or I spoke too fast. So once again, give yourselves a round of applause for putting up with me today. Come on now. Uhuru, Uhuru. That being said, we know that a lot of half of the history is still buried. Only a fraction of it was digged up by archaeologists. So a lot of our history is still buried. A lot of our history is not buried. Well, it's not buried like under the ground. It's buried in downstairs in these it's buried in these archives, it's buried in museums, foreign museums. So you know what I'm talking about, that might not never see the light of day. You know what I mean? But a lot of our history was lost. What they call the Library of Alexander, the Great Fire of that, because we know a lot of ancient books was consolidated from across the ancient world and put in one library. They call it Library of Alexander, and it was burnt down to the ground. So a lot of our history probably would never be known. Just know it's great. That being said, because I have a new phone, I don't know who sent this, but one of my comrades sent FO. Let me get some water because I don't want to butcher no countries. FOI. In the Gaben. Who sent me that? You sent me that, comrade? No? I'm talking email. No? Well, as I'm reading, y'all can shout out. But anyway, in the Gaben area, Gabon, in West Africa, uranium production is documented to be about 2 billion years ago. 2 billion. The production shows organized area and it's carbon dated to prove the time frame. African civilization is far more greater than what we know. Also, the area is still has one of the world's greatest uranium deposits. But once again, one of our comrades sent that in West Africa, the production in uranium is said to be about 2 billion years old.
Wow.
Uhuru, that's your night greatness. But I wanna also bring up, and y'all just give me a second while I get back to the agenda. Gotta open up this tablet.
Next slide.
Next, please. Okay, the announcement. Thank you. So I want to bring up paragraph Sophia, which is our membership coordinator. Thank you. I'm sorry, I was about to say outreach coordinator, but let's look at that. But I want to bring a round of applause for our membership coordinator. Actually, come to the mic to do our announcements. Uhuru.
First one's on how people can watch. Introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Sophia with the International People's Democratic Uhuru Movement. I am the membership coordinator, and I'll be bringing up Jesse to discuss the film showing of the Alabama solution on this coming Saturday. So Jesse's going to come up and talk to you about that.
Yeah, you read this one. This was first. Go back, please. Just how people.
Oh, Burning Spear TV. So if you know of anyone who wants to watch this and you're watching it, you can always go to theburningspear.com. We are on YouTube at the Burning Spear TV on YouTube.
Like, subscribe.
When you get to our sites, we ask that you click the subscribe button. The notification bell will send you notifications when we're going live for different things that you want to be aware of. And we also ask that you click the thumbs up button to help with the algorithm there. And we ask that you subscribe so that like each of the videos that you watch so that it can also increase the algorithms there. So make sure we're trying to get our numbers up, get further reach, and also share the information with people that you think, especially if there's a certain topic that you think will catch someone's eye, that you know and what their interests are. Send that information off to them and share that information. And also, as you do that, make sure you inform them to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Uhuru. And now we'll have Jesse come up and give information about the showing.
Uhuru. Uhuru. You can go to the next slide. All right. Well, first of all, I just want to say it's a great honor to be here in the Uhuru House for the Sunday rally of the International People's Democratic Uhuru Movement. And as was stated, my name is Jesse Neville. I'm the national chair of the Uhuru Solidarity Movement, which is organized under the leadership of the African People's Socialist Party to organize in the white community and build white solidarity with Black power and reparations to African people. And the Uhuru Solidarity Movement salutes our leadership, Chairman Omali Yeshitela and Deputy Chair Ona Zanea Yeshitela, the leadership of the African Revolution, as well as the leadership of Impedum, President Emmanuel, the local leadership, Westbrook, and all of the members of the Uhuru movement. And I also want to salute Chairwoman Penny Hess of the African People's Solidarity Committee. And we are part of working with Hands Off Uhuru, the Hands Off Uhuru Anti-Colonial Free Speech Coalition that is led by Mwezi Odom, Chair Mwezi Odom, in building a film showing and panel discussion on Saturday, February 21st, of a very powerful documentary called The Alabama Solution, which is actually an Oscar-nominated, award-winning film that came about because African people inside the brutal prisons in Alabama were able to bring into the prisons cell phones that they used to expose the hideous colonial violent conditions, assaults and murders happening against African people in those prisons, as well as to document the incredible resistance by African people who organized in the prisons to go on strike, to shut down the prisons, to fight back. It's a very powerful documentary. But more than just seeing the documentary, the film showing on Saturday is also going to feature a panel discussion. And I will say, having watched the documentary, that as powerful as it is, you don't get the full political and historical context of what this is really about in terms of how the chairman in the Uhuru movement sums it up, that the prisons are an instrument of colonial oppression and genocide against African people. And even the history of the particular African men who led this fight back, their relationship to Mafundi Lake, their relationship to the Uhuru movement, and how it was the party and the Uhuru movement that created the reality and the context for this resistance inside the Alabama prisons to emerge. So to fill in the blanks on that history and to give that context, there will actually be a panel discussion with Miss Clara Brooks, who is the sister of Melvin Benu Ray, one of the courageous African men who's portrayed in the documentary, who is actually a relative of Kobina Bantushengo of the African People's Socialist Party, who will also be there on Saturday for the film showing. There will also be presentations by Chairman Omali Yeshitela, the leader of the Uhuru movement, President Zaki Baruti of the Universal African Peoples Organization, Mafundi Lake, a family member of Mafundi Lake, the legendary Alabama prison organizer, the People's Alderman, Jesse Todd, will be speaking there, and others who will be presenting on this important history and the ongoing struggle of African people for self-determination to bring down the colonial mode of production, including as expressed by the prison system. So it's going to be held this upcoming Saturday, February 21st at 2 p.m. at the Jubilee Community Church at 4231 North Grand Boulevard. You can register, although, registration, it's free, it's open to the public. Registration is just a way of RSVPing at tinyurl.com/Alabama Solution. And we do have, as President Emmanuel talked about, there's outreach, there's postering going on all week. And President Emmanuel talked about how you can sign up for that. And there are stacks of flyers on the table in the back. So please take some with you and help to get the word out. And we're looking to have a packed house on Saturday to truly honor and salute these courageous African freedom fighters in the prison and those who will be speaking on the panel on Saturday. Uhuru.
And thank you for that, Jesse. That should be a very insightful session there. So we ask that you all come out, register for that so that they can get a good head count. And then next up, we have the Shambhala Uhuru Freedom Farm. And Akinga is going to speak on that, which we have coming up the street.
Uhuru. For those of you outside of St. Louis, please be sure that there's a QR code I think on the flyer. Hopefully you can see, but we're asking you to help grow Shambhala Uhuru Freedom Farm. It's our new Black community urban farm. If you're in St. Louis, it's right up the street. I really just want to salute the board president, Onozene Satella, and her team for all the work that they have done. Chairman Omali Satella, our leadership, for just really helping to really give Africans in this community a sense of hope. Let me get my notes here that I want to read. That says the African People's Education and Defense Fund is looking for And yeah, is looking for experienced Black community gardeners to work as a master gardener and assistant gardener in our new urban farm here on West Florissant. The Shambhala Uhuru Freedom Farm is an exciting expansion of the successful Gary Brooks Black Power Community Garden that many of you right here in this room, or maybe even outside of St. Louis, have participated in. And it is part of a continued effort of revitalization of the north side of St. Louis through all the programs of the Black Power Blueprint. This farm is expanding our community's access to fresh foods and is also partnering with the Uhuru Bakery and Cafe to continue to enhance bringing wholesome foods to our community. To apply or read the job description, go to tinyurl.com/Freedom Farm Job. Again, that's tinyurl.com/Freedom Farm Job, or scan the QR code if you can see it on your screen. And please feel free to share this opportunity with anyone that you know that might be interested. If you have any questions or want more information, you can email us at volunteer@blackpowerblueprint.org.
Uhuru. Thank you for that, Ikinge. So next up is the information on the plenary. And it's this time until it's won Black Power in Our Own Hands. And we're asking everybody to come on out for the plenary, especially if you are wanting to know more about the organization, and definitely if you are currently involved in one of our memberships. And Luca, they'll give you more about that information.
Who are y'all? So a plenary, for those of you who are not familiar with what a plenary is, it's essentially a planning conference or a planning forum that we use to understand where we're at, in the world today, and what we need to do, moving forward. The party gives leadership to that, and Freedom is a master organization of leadership of the African social party. So there will be a lot of people coming into St. Louis. There will be a lot of St. Louisans. St. Louisans. Also attending the plenary as well. You're welcome there. Please do register at apsplanning.org. And it's going to be exciting and historic. And if you need childcare, we do provide childcare.
Yes.
And in regards to that, we are looking for volunteers, whether you want to volunteer 30 minutes of your time to up to 2 hours. It could be you as a person who wants to present information for childcare, or up to 2 hours if you want to do it as a group of people to provide an activity for the kids so that they can enjoy their time here and gain some cultural activities and cultural education. So if you have a program or something that you want to present to the kids and have them participating in, and it doesn't necessarily have to be completely cultural. It could be games like dodgeball or some type of activity, yoga, fitness program. So if you're interested in doing that, or if you're interested in organizing the child care, you can also let me know. I can be reached at smore372@yahoo.com, or you can give me a call. So either way, let me know and we can get working on that and get that complete so that the children can enjoy their time here as well. The next up, we have the annual cadre school. And the deadline for registering has been extended until tomorrow. So you have another full day to register for the cadre school. If you want to learn about the unique oppression that women face under colonialism and how to become an organizer, this cadre school is for you. If you're a Black woman or a woman of color and you want to, and you identify as a Black woman, we ask that you register for this. It is $30 for members and $60 for non-members. However, with your $60, you do get an invite to the plenary so that your cover charge will be, your cover charge for the plenary will be encompassed in that, but you'll also get the cadre training. So you can kind of learn more about the Uhuru movement and all of the things that the organization has to offer. And it's an event that you don't want to miss. Some of the topics that'll be covered include African women's liberation through the African internationalism. You'll get information on by the time you finish with it, you'll have an understanding of capitalism versus socialism. You'll have experience in community organizing through the real world experiences that you'll be assigned throughout the program. So it'll be a very interactive type of training. So we ask that anybody who's interested in community organizing, or if you're interested in the organization as a whole, we ask that you register for that. You can learn more while being hands-on and gaining experience that if you decide you don't want to continue to participate, you still have that experience. But I think after you can attend the training with the great leadership that we have under the African National Women's Organization, you will be prepared to take on your role in the community so that you can look and tell your children and your family, and you can do more in your community as a whole, as a Black woman, and take on your role. The next up, and that'll be from February 28th through April 4th. So it'll be on a Saturday for 2 hours each Saturday morning. And if you want to register, you can go to Uhuru, ANWO, Uhuru.org. And if you click on the events tab, you can go down and it'll be listed under the events there. So ANWOUHURU.org to register for the annual cadre school.
Registration opened yesterday, didn't
it? It is open again till tomorrow. The deadline has been extended until tomorrow, Monday, February 5th. What is it? The 16th? February 16th. There was an error in the email that went out, so they're extending the deadline for registration until tomorrow. So make sure you get your registration in. If you are in need of assistance with registering, if you can't afford it, contact them on the contact page there at Annual Uhuru. Get in contact with somebody as soon as possible so that you can get in on those trainings. They'll be starting in 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks from today. Uhuru.
Excellent.
Okay, next up, we want you to get your Burning Spear newspaper so you can stay up to date with all of the things that are going on in the different communities as well as in the African internationalist world. You can get your bundles at the Burning Spear store.com, and it can be kind of like a source of revenue for you, but while you're also servicing the community with the information that is helpful to them as well. You can also get your personal subscriptions at theburningspear.com/subscribe. You can get a digital membership. You can get one where you get a physical copy and get that mailed to you. And then you can stay up to date with all of the information that you need. So we ask that you get the Burning Spear right now. They're only $1. Generally, if when you're selling them, you can get them for $1. But a lot of times, if you are passing them out, you can get donations. So we ask that you get your bundles. We ask that you get if nothing else, get your personal subscriptions at theburningspearstore.com.
Because it's also gonna be an economic opportunity for us. So please get your bundles.
Right. And as he said, it helps to support the organization. So that's one way. If you want to support and have something tangible, get the Burning Spear to support the organization in your own way. Thank you. Then next up, we have our International People's Democratic Uhuru Revolutionary National Democratic Program Studies, the RNDP studies. They're held every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Time. And they're held online, so no matter where you are in the world, if you're interested in attending those studies, You want to learn more about African internationalism. You want to learn more about the organization. You want to learn more about the world that we live in. We ask that you register for the RNDP studies. They're facilitated by our president, Lucade Maku, who you've seen up here a couple of times today. To register, go to tinyurl.com/RNDP studies. Again, TINYURL/RNDP studies. You can also check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/impedum, IMPDUM. If you want to watch it live on Facebook, if you're still a Facebook user, you want to watch it there, that's one way you can do it, or interactive online. Can they comment when they're on Facebook? When they're on Facebook? Okay, so you can comment either way. So whichever way is comfortable for you, we ask that you come on to those studies. You can come off of mute and ask your questions. It's a very interactive study. There are sections where you get to ask questions, get responses, or provide your feedback and information and input. And then next up we are seeking your help. So you, whether you're here in the audience, whether you're online, we need your help to build the Sunday rallies. We need people to help to organize Karamu. So if you like to cook, if you like to just be a part of organizing, you want to gain some basic experiences, we ask that you help with that. And no matter what skills you have, whether you feel like you have skills or you don't feel like you have skills, whatever you bring to the table, we can use. But we want to build these Sunday rallies. So the information that you're receiving, like the stuff that you got today and some of the other stuff you've got at other rallies, that can be shared to a broader community. Because I know sometimes I sit here and I'm thinking, oh, I wish so-and-so could have been here to hear this. So we need help in building the Sunday rally so that it becomes the thing to do on Sunday mornings or Sunday afternoons at 3:00. So you can get experience if you join the AV team to learn how to do, like people are watching us online. You can do that from wherever you are, as well as here in the building. We need people to help with that. We need help distributing the flyers and leaflets so that other people, no matter where they are in the area, they can come out and watch, or even in your other states, because we do have the link to watching us online as well. So sharing that information, we ask that you help us with that. And like Lucade talked about, there's a lot of outreach that'll be going on. If you're interested in doing that, meeting people on the street, having that conversation with people to let them know about what you're excited about as you're here, you can do that. And then security, we need to make sure that as we're gathering together, that we can maintain that security. You can gain that experience if you want to learn about security and be a part of that role. Then come on out, come visit us. If you're here in St. Louis, reach out to us. We're there in various different methods. So you got impdum.org. You can go there and click the contact link to ask for more information wherever you feel like you can fit in. We need your help. And then next up is Karamu time. So our wonderful Fofi has made her signature chili that we can all participate in on today. We have a nice spread back there today of, I think it'll be something for everybody there. And this is one of the examples of helping to build the, I'm sorry.
Rallies.
Right, helping to build the rallies. This is one of the things. So we get a chance to sit around and fellowship with one another. If you've heard something, one of the speakers that you've heard speaking, we get to sit around and fellowship over food and have the discussions or just kind of chill. A lot of times we're listening to a lot of good music afterwards as well. So thank you for that. We're going to bring Fofi up to give us an account of what we brought in today as far as how we met our goal.
Okay, comrades, I asked for $75 and we got 75 plus one of my friends that that he donated $10 on Cash App. So we have a total of $85. And I want to thank each and every one of you for helping us to fight colonialism. Because when we fight, when we fight, Uhuru. I'm going to call Comrade President Lucade McCool of the International People Democratic Uhuru Movement up to close us out.
Uhuru comrades, thank you so much for joining this Sunday rally. I think it was an important Sunday rally to have on our history and revolutionary love. And I just also want to say that our history is a living history. It's not just something that, is buried. It's not just something that's locked in museums, even though that's true. Our history is a living history. Just a few weeks ago, we had a sister who came from East St. Louis, and what's the place called? Sunshine Cultural Center. Yes, and they do African dances and things like that. But many of our people don't. Well, African history and culture is something that's pervasive. It's everywhere. It's everywhere that you see. And even this thing about dance comes out of the victory of African people to produce and reproduce life for ourselves so efficiently that we didn't have to work all day, that we can celebrate each other, that we can celebrate our success, that we can celebrate our collective future. That's dances is a symbol of cultural. It's a cultural trophy, and you can see African culture everywhere. You can see African culture in every Black home in St. Louis, in every interaction that you have with an African here in St. Louis. You can see African culture everywhere because we are one people. And we are one people who live under the same conditions wherever we are. That is colonialism. Central to this thing about overturning colonialism is that we don't identify ourselves with the oppressor. We are Africans. We are Africans no matter where we are in the world. We came out of Africa no matter where the ships had landed us and things like that. We didn't all suddenly become something else. We've always been Africans. And so this is the thing that's under attack. It's our national identity. And central to this thing about winning the position of independence, freedom, liberation for African people is recognizing our national identity as Africans, not African Americans, not Ghanaians, not all other labels and things like that, because those are the labels that someone else gave to us. And so that's important to state. And thank you so much for this wonderful rally. Our history means something. It means that we have to organize to overturn these conditions. And those are the economic development programs that you see, and also the plenary in which we move our work forward. Because the major task is defeating colonialism, and to do that, we have to complete the Black Revolution of 1960s. Uhuru.
Meet each and every last one of y'all next Sunday. I appreciate y'all presence. Uhuru.
In the basket, all of it came for consumer right now. Please take the fruit home, help yourself.